broadcast button says this hangout is on air. This hangout on air is live. All right, I'm live. I'm tired. I have a spotty connection because I am not at home. But I just wanted to hurry up and share something that I kind of made a discovery about or an observation. And it is essentially formatting your types within F#. And so I've had a habit of basically declaring various types that may involve tuples that are attached to them, and yet those tuples don't really scream intent. And so I recently just discovered a way to make your types more, I don't know, informational, metadata, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm just going to hurry up and make this really quick. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. Come here. Share this. Yeah. Come here. And yeah, I just realized I don't have my headset again. Present to everybody. All right. Yeah. So I keep forgetting my headset. You take this right here. All right. So this is a bank account kata. You know, you do some major functions on the bank account, like handle withdrawal, handle deposit, handle transfer. Okay, but that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is these types that these functions rely on. You look at this checking of decimal, like this is pretty, I don't know, apparent, right? We know what this means. I know what this means. But then we can look at some other parts that are kind of ambiguous, such as, you know, this response type, which is a discriminated union, has something like withdrawal, you know, in which the values that we're attaching to it are state and state. Well, what does that mean? You know, we see the same thing over here with deposited. It's a tuple of state and state. This transfer failed, account decimal. Like, what does that mean? In order to figure out what that means, you actually have to leave the scope of your type declarations, and you have to go into the actual functions and basically get a better understanding of what these tuples are that are attached to these individual case values of this discriminated union based on the context of the function, right? And so that's probably not ideal. And when I first wrote this, I didn't know any better. I'm a student, you know, trying to understand this programming language they call F#. And then I started just something that I highly recommend is read books, go on GitHub and look at people's source code, and just look at other people's code. Look at the way other people are writing their code. Just observe, you know, some of the techniques that they're using. Things that I didn't even know was possible, that I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, you know? And so we take this right here, and I'm gonna type really, really fast, right? It's kind of like micro machines, right? So you ready for me to type really fast and like just reformat all this stuff? All right, here we go. 1, 2. And I'm done. All right, so I'll type that all really fast by hand. And now we have some interesting things to observe. We remastered, reformatted our type declarations to be more informative, in which they, I would say, carry metadata, so we can have a better understanding. We don't have to actually leave the scope of our type declarations to figure out what they really mean, hence by going to the actual functions that leverage these types. So for example, there used to be, like with this withdrawal case value, we had state. Well, now look at it. We did a couple things. First, we provided, I would just say, a tag. We tagged the different elements of the tuple, right? And then something that I didn't even know, that I didn't even observe from any other anybody else's source code, is I can actually like provide a line break that will actually separate the tuples, even though they represent, or the elements within a tuple, even though it ultimately, you know, represents a tuple. I don't know how to say that, but anyway, like, to make long story short, uh, you know, you could have something like this, and that might be fine, you know, if you have it like this, or it might be even more readable because, well, we're human beings. So have something like this, right? And it accomplishes the same thing, but I think this is more readable. I can look at this the very first time and be like, oh, I see an asterisk in here. I see like two items in here. The asterisk is between them. Yeah, that's a tuple, right? And I mean, it's just more readable. So that's something that I just recently discovered. And I pretty much followed that pattern for anything that I thought required it. And so even over here, what am I looking at? This after withdrawal, yeah, that's fine. Before withdrawal, we have our account, our balance. So yeah, it used to look like this, right? Which was kind of uh, you had to do a little bit of hunting to figure out, you know, what elements of this tuple was supposed to represent. To I'm about to type again. This right here. It's more informational, and you don't have to leave the context of these declarations to figure out how these declarations are really being used. And that is it, right? So I just want to document my journey of learning F sharp. I had an observer on here. Let me see if any comments are left before I terminate this. And I don't
My journey
see
of learning F sharp.
I don't see any comments on here. So I'm about to terminate this, and that's it. So, oh yeah, I already put up a blog post somewhere. Where are we at? I don't know where my blog post is. This is my latest post. I'm going to take this video and I'm going to embed it on this post right here, formatting discriminated unions with tuples. I could probably think of a better title, but I'm lazy right now. And that's it. So I'm going to take this video, I'm going to put it on there. And when you go back, I'm killing this, share, and that's it. So I'm still going full throttle in F sharp. And something else I want to write about dealing with, well, I'll save that for later. And recently I've been doing a lot of studying on event sourcing and frameworks that deal with concurrency, specifically Akka.net. And again, I'm trying to integrate all of this into F sharp, and it's been interesting, painful, but I feel really, really smart right now, regardless of reality. All right, I'm done. I'm babbling. Adios, te veo a ratito. I am out. My name is Scott Nimrod.